Kenji Doihara, a Class A war criminal convicted by the International Military Tribunal for the Far East, remains enshrined to this day at the Yasukuni Shrine. During the Japanese militarists' war of aggression against China, beyond the artillery fire and massacres, Doihara was one of the most dangerous demons behind the scenes. On September 18, 1931, the September 18th incident broke out, marking the beginning of Japanese militarist war of aggression against China, a conspiracy that was thoroughly plotted. Long before the incident, Doihara had been active in northeast China for years, sowing chaos through money, threats, and false promises. His mission was covert, to manufacture a pretext for Japanese militarist intervention and conditions for occupation. The Japanese troops blew up a section of railway in northeast China and accused Chinese forces of sabotage. This was no accident. It was a staged plot with Doihara among the chief screenwriters. Under the excuse, the Japanese Kwantung Army launched a full-scale invasion. Within a few months, the three provinces of northeast China fell under Japanese control. Japan was not satisfied with mere military occupation. It moved on to an even more deceptive project, the fabrication of a puppet state in China to be known as Manchukuo. In this process, Doihara played a particularly brutal role. He was directly responsible for identifying, controlling, and manipulating a so-called political symbol. And that symbol was Puyi, the last emperor of the Qing dynasty. Doihara approached Puyi constantly with the lure of restoring the monarchy and protecting the royal family, while simultaneously coercing him with military force and threats to his life. He calculatedly engineered Puyi's route out of Tianjin to northeastern China, controlled his movements, and severed his communications with the outside world. The so-called inviting Puyi to return was, in essence, a political kidnapping orchestrated by Doihara. In 1932, the puppet state of Manchukuo was established, but this so-called country had no sovereignty, no independent diplomacy, and no military authority. All major decisions were made by the Japanese Guangdong Army and its intelligence agencies. Puyi was merely a puppet on display, manipulated by Japan. In 1945, Japan was defeated, and its aggressions were finally subjected to legal and historical judgment. On August 16, 1946, at the International Military Tribunal for the Far East in Tokyo, Puyi testified as a key witness. As a direct witness to Japan's conspiracy to invade northeast China, Puyi emphasized that his role was never voluntary but had been forced by Japan to leave Tianjin and go to northeastern China. This testimony shattered the lie that Manchukuo was an act of national self-determination. It became one of the tribunal's crucial pieces of evidence that Japan had invaded China and violated its sovereignty. As a result, Kenji Doihara was firmly placed in the dock of history and law. Doihara was an infamous schemer who wallowed in nefarious tactics, espionage, cold-blooded assassination, and the treacherous subversion of his targets. In November 1948, Doihara was convicted as a Class A war criminal for crimes against peace, violations of the laws and customs of war and crimes against humanity, and waging wars of aggression and war conspiracies against China, the United States, the United Kingdom, and other nations. On December 23, 1948, Kenji Doihara was executed by hanging. While justice may have been delayed, history ultimately proved that conspiracies cannot be legitimized, and aggression will eventually be held to account.